What's going on, everybody? Doc here, Average Gamer Guys, back again. Magic the Gathering Arena time, and we are jumping into our first sealed of Modern Horizons 3. It has made its way to my MTG Arena. Very, very excited to get into this. We bought the bundle leading up into this. We've got a sealed token. We've got some draft tokens. We'll be doing a handful of different events over the next little while. I'm actually very, very excited. Modern Horizons 3 went to some pre-releases this past weekend, had a blast. The sealed pools were actually pretty solid, had some fun, won some games. First pre-release I've been to in person in a little while, so it was really, really cool. Very excited about the set. We should have some openings coming up starting next week for quite a few weeks, actually. We put some we put some things in on the line to get some of this product, and I've been very, very excited to crack it open and see what we're able to get. So if you're interested in seeing some pack cracking action, we do that every Wednesday, and we have quite a few queued up here to get going. So very excited. Let's get into sealed here. If you're not familiar with how we do it here, we jump in, we crack the packs, we'll build a deck, we'll show you kind of afterwards where we settle on. We'll give you a quick look at the pool. The polls and the pool, and then from there we'll probably showcase some games. If we have a decent run here, we'll probably do another episode of some games, and we'll go from there. So we got a special guest Grief here in our in our pool. That's kind of cool. White Orchid, Emperor of Bones, the Soul Trader, very, very interesting. Going to be very powerful. This one's got quite a few folks interested on it. Paying a life, sacrificing a creature, creating some treasure tokens. We've got the Null Drifter as well. Pretty cool Eldrazi Elemental here. Evoke for 2 and a blue. We get to draw some cards. We got the White of Reliquary. Kind of interesting. Obtruse Appropriation. And we get a fetch, which is pretty awesome. Wood of Foothills. Nice to see that. Very, very excited again for these. And I think many, many people are. Let's take a look at the rest of the polls here and see what all we are looking at. Let's do this. All right, so white here, we got the Phantom. Wing It's pretty cool. The Solstice Zealot we've actually used to some pretty good effect. Especially running the energy, pretty neat. If we have anything else that runs, we've got the Angel here. To pay 2, give Vigilance, Lifelink, or other creatures get +1/+1. Kind of a neat little bit of a later mid to late game creature here that could kind of ramp up some things. The Area Auxiliary is actually really interesting. 3/3 body with flying with support 2. Being able to spread some counters around is pretty neat. And the Nyxborn Unicorn I actually really like too. White's looking pretty good. White's looking pretty good. That's all we got in white here. Let's take a quick look at the blue. See what jumps out. We've got some Eldrazi going on here. With this guy, with the Meddler, the Defiler. That's pretty interesting. This Reef Worm is really interesting too. The fact that it scales up into a 9/9 Kraken, especially if we can look at actually killing our own creature or sacrificing it for any kind of spells. That's interesting. I like Sink into Stupor, the ability to bring in this land. That I have been a big fan of is the reverse flip lands and getting the options to play those. Tune the Narrative is pretty cool if we want to go an energy route. Blue's looking okay. Blue's looking okay. Draw 3 cards. Create a Eldrazi spawn. All right, let's see how our black is doing here. I didn't see a whole lot of interaction with blue. So we do have the Grief, which is pretty interesting. And kind of with this, with the War and Soul Trader, it's going to be hard not to play. Got some card draw and the Insight. We could kill our own guy here. Okay, so there's a little bit. Okay, that's Emperor of Bones is pretty cool too. Slith is pretty nice. Ooh, we got the Worm Coil Lover. I am a Worm Coil Engine fan, so I'm actually very excited to see this card. This thing is absolutely awesome. That's pretty interesting. Sentry here. That's kind of interesting. With Menace too. All right, let's look at our red here. 3 Galvanic Discharge is very interesting. We could really look to probably run with the Skyclaw. We could look to run a little bit of energy maybe, potentially. And Ghostfire Slice. We might splash red. We have a very limited red here, but with Siege Smash, Fanged Flames, the Discharge, Slice, we could just run the removal suite here in red, and we might be in a good position to do that. We'll have to take a look at that, really consider that. How's our green looking here? At the brute scale, we do have quite a few, like I said, quite a few Eldrazi, interestingly enough, here in this sealed pool. We got a fight there, that's cool. Evolution Witness is pretty strong. Signature Slam's pretty neat. Hydra's cool as well. He looks very annoyed. It's a big one. That's a big boy. Oh, and the Oozwag, one of the most interesting looking cards in the set for sure. Green, not bad either. Not bad either. We got some options. There's Soulfire here. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Interesting. I gotta understand this card a little bit more. Void, exile target non-land permanent. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled and may spend colorless mana or mana of any color to cast that spell. That's very interesting. That is very, very interesting. I like this guy. It's kind of interesting, can ramp up. Also pretty interesting, Crackling Falls. Yeah, man, we got really... Double target creature's power and gains first strike. Wow, that's pretty good. And then the Drowner. Drowner of Truth. Now here is actually what I have come to really, really appreciate. The different landscapes in here really help to fix mana pretty strongly if we want to go that route. And then late game can be some pretty good fixing in terms of cycling. So that's not bad either. And it looks like we have pretty good little cheat sheet here. Is it searches for the thing it cycles for. So lots of people probably recognize that, but that's an easy way to kind of look at that. We do have the foothills here. We got 2 snow-covered wastes. That heralds the end. Other spells you cast with mana value 7 or greater cost 1 less to cast. Now I'll get +1/+1. That's pretty interesting. We got Solar Transformer. That's kind of cool. We could add a little bit of energy there. Got the Lurker. With the cycling, 7/7 Vigilance. I do like Null Drifter, personally. Ooh, and the Twisted Riddle Keeper keeps this interesting here. 5/5 flyer with Emerge. That could be interesting too. All right, we got an interesting little build here. So we're gonna jump in. We're gonna put something together, and we'll showcase what that looks like. Then we'll jump into some games. Be right back. All right, I think this is where we're gonna land. We might be trying something a little interesting here, but I'm gonna give it a go. We are essentially running a decent little suite of removal: Ghostfire Slice, Fanged Flames, a couple of Galvanic Discharge, a few other things that can return spells or bounce things back to the hand. We have a really heavy top end here with Twisted Riddle Keeper and Null Drifter, as well as Wormcoil Larva and Petrifying Metaler here. And essentially what we're trying to do is kind of essentially just be able to get into casting this space. Now, interestingly enough, with the Emerge cost here on Twisted Riddle Keeper, we can essentially kind of set up reef worms to then get into this, to then get some pretty insane value off of the reef worm. So essentially we're just trying to get to that spot where we can get to 4 mana, play reef worm, and then hopefully have Twisted Riddle Keeper. We have a couple of card draw spells in our hand as well. We have a few things that also reduce the cost here, or allow us to ramp up. Sage of the Unknowable, It That Heralds the End, can really help with some of these Devoid. And we have a decent handful, at least, of Devoid spells here. That's going to be kind of interesting. We've got Grief. We've got a couple of other good creatures in here and a handful of other things. Pretty good interaction. So we'll see how this goes. I'm transparently, I'm not sure if this is going to work really, really well, but it's worthwhile to give it a go. See if we can have some fun. And that's what new sets are all about. So we got a decent little land set up here. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think 17, probably where we need to be with our heavy top end here. We have 3 landscapes that are going to help us kind of filter some of those lands out as well. So we will look at doing that. And then we do have the color list that we can make. So we do have to think about being able to do that if we want to go that route. I think the only thing that really cares about it is It That Heralds the End, as well as the Riddle Keepers here. One thing that I did consider, and I may make one last final change on, is maybe Solar Transformer. This might make some sense to bring into the deck as I'm kind of taking a look at it, just as an option. The other thing, removal, again, isn't bad with the discharges, the Fanged Flames. Maybe we actually look at getting rid of the Legion, that, and Ghostfire Slice is all pretty solid. Again, we have some decent card draw, but we do need to kind of consider removal, and especially removal for these bigger creatures. Now, we do have a few things. Wormcoil Larva is a great blocker here with Death Touch and Lifelink, and then obviously the 2 that it turns into. And we have a few others, so we might be okay there, but I think Solar Transformer makes a lot of sense. And we do have kind of a sub-energy theme here on a handful of cards that could be helpful for us, especially Galvanic Discharge can get a lot better if we've ramped up into some energy. So I think maybe we sit there, got a little bit of ramp, got a few things to do, heavy top end. We'll see how it goes. Let's get to some games. All right, so the first 2 games we ran into, game 1, Kozilek, game 2, double Dreamtide Whale. So it hasn't been going great, to say the least. We're going to give this a go. It's kind of interesting one. An interesting one here. Get started. I pull planes very quickly, and we have a turn 1 play. Look at that. Beautiful. Now, we do have Hope Eater. If we do find one of our landscapes, we can also get It That Heralds in. That's not too bad. Kind of cool. What is Afterlife 1? Cool. All right, so we got Sage. We're actually going to be able to ramp up here a little bit. Pearl Medallion. Wow. 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 I would have liked to counter that. When it attacks, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent. Beginning of the next end step. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it entered under your control, put a 1/1 counter on it. That's kind of cool, because you could do Indebted Spirit here if you really wanted to. Does It That Heralds help me here? No, I think we keep up Hope Eater. I'm not too worried about this. They can put the Indebted Spirit back and forth. That's kind of whatever. they wanted to attack. We could also, interestingly enough, haste. Would you give it haste? Sure. Oh, I could have blocked here. Whoops. Okay. I feel like we just kill this thing. Smart to draw some cards. What do I do here? Do I get this Riddle Keeper out? That puts 2 stun counters on this thing. That could be pretty big. I think I do that. Don't really want to evoke this. I need the 3/2 body, I feel like, and I want to have Eviscerator's Insight to get rid of Transmogrant. 6/6 flyer too, pretty strong. For Bones is very good too. Get in for 6. Discard a card at random. Gosh. Don't want to do that either. But I don't have any energy. Just gonna get rid of the Riddle Keeper. That sucks. Need a black mana. I need a swamp. Swamp will allow me to play this, adapt to, and then... Is this exile? Oh, it's exile. That sucks. What can we do here? We could do Hope Eater. Yeah, sure. I can do about that. There's the swamp I need. I'll at least block here. Dies. Makes the 1/1. I could play Grief. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, get that freaking thing out of here. Holy moly. That would have been terrible. Oh my gosh. I can attack with 2 flyers now with really out any pain. Kill the Grief. Interesting. Keep 1, 2, 3 up. I can do Emperor of Bones. I can bring the Hope Eater back, or I can bring the Altasaur back. So hold on. At the beginning of combat on our turn, exile 1 target card from graveyard. Whenever 1 or more 1/1 encounters put on, put a creature card exiled with Emperor Bones onto the battlefield under your control. It gains haste. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. I can't. Why can't I? Not going to attack then. I can discharge and sink. I could adapt. He attacks, he exiles Emperor of Bones. I could respond to that by bringing out Annoyed Altasaur, which is what I'm going to do. I'll let this resolve. I'm just dead. I just killed myself. It has flying anyways. What is this guy doing? He just plays the... Am I stupid? Don't you just play this creature? I am actually so confused right now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm missing something here, but I'm gonna take the W. I don't know if I deserve that. I don't know if I deserve that at all. But we got it. Listen, after after the first two matches we played, this set is absolutely incredible with so many bombs. It's so insane. The decks that we're gonna run into are gonna be absolutely crazy. Facing two of the Dreamtide Whales in our second match was a little bananas. Turn 3 Dreamtide Whale, I think it was like turn 5 second Dreamtide Whale. Like, we're just not winning that. That's pretty tough. Kozilek is also a hard thing to get through We had a little bit of a misplay in the first match, probably didn't showcase these. So how do I feel about the deck? It feels pretty good. It feels like we can do some things, but the things that our opponents are doing also feel very good. I will say this, I was really happy. I don't know if I showcased this, but I did get the 9/9. I essentially was able to reform, block with it, turn it into the 3/3. I eviscerators incited it to make it into the 6/6, and then I flashed back this on the 6/6 to make the 9/9. The 9/9 subsequently got killed instantly, as you might imagine, but we did get there. That was my big goal for this deck, was to get this 9/9 out. I actually really do like the reform. Its mana cost is probably a little restrictive for how long it takes to build up into that point, but being able to reform and then potentially Twisted Riddle Keeper is also kind of a cool synergy. And that part is pretty neat, and I could see this coming together considering that we have the two of these. Twisted Riddle Keeper, it feels pretty good. 8 mana or even at the emerge of 7 feels a little hefty for what this does. The stun counters is great. The body at 5/5 is pretty solid, and flying, that's really nice. But at 8 mana or even 7 mana in this format feels a little rough. So kind of cool that we're able to do that. It is what it is. We got one more match here to give up. I'm probably just going to play this one. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking this out. Tomorrow, we will likely be jumping into a draft. I'm very, very excited for this format. Excited to jump in and see what we're able to do. Tons of Modern Horizons 3 again coming to the channel. So be sure to stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button for me. I'm going to flash some socials, like, comment, subscribe. Again, Wednesdays, we're doing all of the goodies with pack cracking action. So if you want to see some collector boosters get ripped, I think we have a play booster coming up as well. So if you're interested to see that for Modern Horizons 3, be sure to stay tuned every Wednesday after Modern Horizons 3 is done. If you want to see some more, we have actually a few other videos queued up that we didn't get in prior to Modern Horizons 3 releasing. So very excited for all that. Thank you for being here. Sorry for my terrible play. Very interesting. Let me know how your drafts and your sealed events and what you're jumping into here on Modern Horizons 3 are going. And I wish you the best. We'll catch you next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.